Hi everyone, my name is Swinda Asinkab. I am a major in chemical engineering here at Virginia Tech. I'm a fourth year out of fifth year, so I'm going to be like a super senior here at Virginia Tech. And my minor is computer science. So here at Virginia Tech, we really value, like, what does it take to be an engineer? So we really value creativity. So to being an engineer is not just all math and science based. It's not just all technical skills. Being an engineer means that you really need to be well-rounded. And to be an engineer, you really need to be well-rounded. You need to have creativity. I always think of it as people think of a problem inside the box. As engineers, and here at Virginia Tech, they allow us to teach us to think of problems outside the box as well. And so then moving on from that point is teamwork. So here at Virginia Tech, they teaches us how to work in a team. One of the classes that we work in a team, first class I ever took here was Foundations of Engineering, where we had to work on a research project, whether you worked on how to build a windmill, how to build a working airplane, how to build like a technical device of your choosing, either of those three. You had to work in a team to make like your presentation, your technical documents, and be in like professional clothing. And that really taught me how to utilize my skills and kind of what are my strengths and weaknesses are. So study habits. To be an engineer, you really need kind of great study habits, I would say. We have a great program here at Virginia Tech called STEP, which is a program over the summer that kind of teaches you how to study. Now, if you don't go to that program, don't you worry. The Student Success Center here at Virginia Tech, I personally use this resource, has a great program on teaching you, and great seminars on teaching you how to study and how to get into that college mindset. I also think that here our professors and our TAs are specifically tailored to like helping you, get with the college mindset because they know that you're coming right out of high school. They understand that you're a freshman and they're here to help you. So furthermore, you need an interest in math and science. I wouldn't say like a heavy interest. Personally, I love math. Maybe science, but like personally, I love math. So, but you maybe want a slight interest in math and science. Moreover, you need a challenging high school background. So I would say taking your highest level classes in high school will really help. AP, IB, CLEP, and honors classes. And also don't forget about those extracurricular activities. It's not all just about school. As Virginia Tech students, you want well-rounded students. I also forgot to mention this before, but you have a Q&A box down below. During our session here today, please type in your questions in the Q&A box, and at the end of the session, we'll answer all questions that you have.
Hi everyone, sorry for being a bit late, but I can go ahead and talk about the kind of scores that students are looking towards. So for the class of 2019, for freshmen, the average GPA was 4.2 out of 5.0 on the weighted GPA scale. The average SAT was 707 and 655 for the math and readings parts of the exam. And there was about 20.7% women in the freshman engineering class. And these one important thing to note about these numbers is that they are more of an estimate and kind of general number for all of the GPA, SAT representation for females and students who are in minority groups. So this is kind of more of a general look at those numbers.
So here we're going to take a second and you can scan this with your phone or whatever scanning device you kind of have. So Common Point and entry classes. So with your scanning device, you can see all the Common Point for entry classes that your students will have. If you come in with credits, it might be a little bit different. So for example, that I came in with some math credits and I actually started with Calc 2, and then my next semester I had multivariate instead of Calc 1 and Calc 2 for my first and second semester. And then from there on, it was, a little bit off. But then if you come in with like chemistry credits from taking AP chemistry, you might have credits to bypass Chem 1 or Chem 2. So just some things to think about. As well, you can see if you go to the www.tranguide.registrar.vt.edu, you can look at the credits accepted for our school. For AP, IB, CLEP, and dual enrollment credits. I can personally say I use this all the time, even now over the summer when I'm taking college classes, and over the summer I use this tool to help me see which colleges will accept credits to Virginia Tech to make it a little bit smoother. Furthermore, Pathways for general education curriculum. For those of you who do not know, Pathways is a liberal arts classes, such as your history, such as your arts classes, such as, music classes like those, where you can classes like those where you take them, as just like a break. Because here at Virginia Tech, we really want like I've been saying before, we really want well-rounded students, and you can't really do that by taking all math and all science classes. I can personally say it has been like a really big relief. Sometimes taking those classes, it's like a break. And then for your select major at the end of your freshman year, a 3.0 guarantees your first choice major. A 3.0 guarantees your first choice major except for biomedical engineering, where we're in the second phase of the process where you still need to fill out a secondary application. But for every other major under a 3.0, it does not guarantee your first choice major.
One of the classes that you'll be taking in your freshman year is Foundations of Engineering, and basically this is a year-long course where you'll be introduced to different concepts within engineering, learn how to work in a team, because that's a very big focus that Virginia Tech places in the engineering curriculum here. So in your first semester, you'll be learning different ways to solve problems using computer programming, data collection, and analysis, and you'll be learning different professional skills and teamwork skills, and helping you prepare for things that you'll be encountering once you get into your specific major. In the second semester of this course, you'll be working on a project, a design project, and it will be a drone, it can be a wind turbine. I've heard of people also doing community projects. And basically, you'll be working with the team and developing the design for these devices, and then actually testing it, and then kind of having a competition of sorts between other groups in your class. And this is really cool because you actually get to apply some of the concepts you learn in the freshman in your first semester, and then actually see it done with real life. I was in the drone program, and it was really cool seeing our plane fly as much as it could. We didn't actually make it fly too far, but it was really cool. We got to go to the drone cage, and it was a pretty fulfilling experience.
Here we have the numbers for the fall 2019 undergraduate enrollment. You can see here that engineering education, which is the major that all of our freshmen kind of get put into in the beginning of their freshman year because of general engineering, is 3,090. And then the following are subsequent majors after your freshman year. So the biggest major is mechanical engineering with 1,119. And then the following biggest major is computer science. And you can just kind of take a picture of this or scroll down to see all of the majors that Virginia Tech has to offer.
Now we'll be talking about the different engineering majors that are offered at Virginia Tech. And we'll start with electrical engineering. So electrical engineering is the study of electronics. So things that will go into your phone, computers, things like that, hardware. So basically, electrical engineers work on a variety of projects such as computers, robots, cell phones, radars, navigation systems, and any kind of electrical system. As a student in electrical engineering, you'll be learning the hardware of electrical systems, how to program some of those things. You learn about communication systems. And this program specifically is more hardware-based than computer-based. It's a very hands-on major, and it has a heavy lab focus. I know a couple of my friends who are in this major. You can see them walk around campus with their kits with like their lab stuff. It's really fun to see, and they're really passionate about those things. And a lot of these students get involved with robotics, and the types of jobs that you can go into in an industry are in power and energy, communications, microelectronics, basically any industry realistically, because all of those need some kind of person who specializes in electrical systems.
Yeah, my friend was electrical, and my roommate's electrical, and she says she's like, I sleep with my kid. She's like funny like that. Anyway, going to computer science, my minor. So computer science, you design, develop software from operating systems and applications. So I would say in Virginia Tech, the computer science program is a little bit of theory. It's both theory and application based, so I would say it's evenly distributed in my experience. So in here, you possible areas of study are human computer interaction, knowledge and information and data, media creative computing, scientific computing, and systems and networking. I will say that my area of study kind of in my minor is human computing, computer and interaction. If you look on the top left-hand corner, you can see a video of a guy, and he's kind of in the cube, which is at Virginia Tech. We have a cube where it projects on the screen, and he's kind of wearing Oculus Rift type glasses, and he's walking across the street, and then he's going to get hit by a car. So right there. Also, computer science is a possible 5-year BS MS track. I will say that almost all the majors at Virginia Tech, you can take a possible 5-year BS MS track. I know that for chemical engineering specifically, you can't do this, just for further information. And job types are software and design and development, network and computer security, mobile applications, and game design and development.
Computer engineering is a little bit different from computer science, where computer science is more focused on the programming aspect. Computer engineering is more focused on the hardware aspect of computers. So you'll be learning, if you're in this major, you'll be learning how to make computers faster and more capable, taking the hardware that's used in computers and these systems and making it communicate with the software that computer scientists write, and all those different facets of that. There's several areas of specialization within computer engineering, which does make it a very attractive major in networking, hardware, communication, cybersecurity. I've heard of many students who get a cybersecurity minor with this major. Some cool applications of computer engineering is smart fabric, and fibers that are woven into material. So like clothes that have these kind of special things that are attached to them.
Biological systems and engineering, or biosystems engineering, combines biology, chemistry, and engineering to solve problems associated with the environment protection, conservation of natural resources, protection of renewable resources, and the conversion of these resources to value added of these products such as food, pharmaceuticals, polymers, and biofuels. So if you put gas in your car, biological systems engineers may have something to do with it. But however, they do have a focus on agriculture, ecosystems, and food and science. So you can go into two main tracks, which is biomed, composite materials, and biomaterials, or green energy, which is sustainable land development, water resources, and water management. Some job types are pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, biochemical, biofuels, biomass industries, etc. If you go to this major, you can also go for a minor in biomed engineering as well.
Chemical engineering is basically the study of applying the principles of chemistry, biology, physics, and math to solve different problems that involve the production or use of chemicals, fuel, drugs, food, and a variety of products. Basically, chemical engineers take what a chemist does in the lab and then blow it up into a large scale for manufacturing and different use. So basically what you're going to be learning how to do is trying to create a desired reaction on a mass scale in a safe and effective way. Really cool thing about this major is that it's kind of, you can do several things with this major. Basically, you take all the chemistry courses and you learn a little bit more. It's very math heavy. And I know that a couple of my friends who are chemical engineers, they're planning on getting a chemistry minor. with it, because there's only a couple extra classes. And one very cool thing about this major is that it basically has inbuilt study abroad options. So your junior year of being a chemical engineer, you're required to do a lab. And there are three options for this lab. You can do it in Denmark, Germany, or in Blacksburg. So if you're really interested in doing study abroad but are unsure where you're going, if you can fit it into your schedule for an entire semester, chemical engineering does have an inbuilt option for that. And some of the job types are fuels, oil, energy, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics, consulting, paper engineering, and etc. Material science and engineering, this is my major. I'm a little biased towards it. But basically what we do in this major is learn how to come up and improve materials for different applications of society. So basically we learn the properties and structures of materials, and then figure out which material is best for whatever application it's being used towards. It's a very hands-on major. I can say that every single semester since the beginning of sophomore year, I have been in a lab. So the department puts a very big emphasis on learning in the lab and like getting hands-on with the things that we're doing. Some really cool labs and really cool facilities, such as the foundry, basically where you can learn how to do metal casting, a wide variety of things with metals. I've been in a ceramics lab where we made a vase. It's really cool. There's different areas of study within material science: metals, polymers, ceramics, composites, which is like a blend between different materials, nuclear materials, which you can get a focus in, electronic materials and biomaterials. A really cool story of material science is that we helped win the 2007 ACC championship. Basically, Cedric Hume, who was the running back of that year, broke his arm, as you can see in the picture on the slide. And the MSc department created a cast which was soft enough to be considered not a weapon, and it was strong enough to protect his arm. And he played in the championship and we won. So we like to say that we helped win the ACC championship.
Mining and minerals engineering. So we are one of 12 universities with accredited mining and minerals engineering department. And this is a field where aspects of geosciences are combined with engineering management for development and recovery of world's mining resources. So when I think of this major, I kind of think of my phone. And that might sound really weird, but go with me on this. So when I think of my major, I think of my phone. It's because your phone is made of all these tiny minerals, and which are mined in fields where mining and mineral engineers are made out of. So this job is 100% necessary and it has 100% job placement at Virginia Tech. So if this is something that you are into, such as exploration, evaluation, development, extraction, mineral processes, or reclamation, maybe this major is good for you. And then as the mining and mineral engineers say, if you can't grow it or make it in a lab, it must be mined.
Civil engineering. This is one of our popular majors here at Virginia Tech. And basically in this program, you'll learn how to conceive, design, build, supervise, and basically construct different infrastructure projects and systems for the public sector, the private sector, and these kind of vary to things like roads, dams, water systems, airports, traffic control, sewage treatment. There's a lot of different areas of emphasis within civil engineering. It is very broad, but there's a lot of really cool applications, such as environmental engineering or materials engineering. And with that, you can specialize with different jobs, such as structural engineering, environmental engineering, so on and so forth. I know this major also does have a master's program where you can do the BS MS track, where you can finish your master's in 1 year, which is really interesting and really cool opportunity. This program also has the Virginia Tech Transportation Institute, where you can help work with the different transportation studies that are going on right now. We have a smart road where people or groups like Google and other companies that have self-driving cars like to test their vehicles on. So civil engineering does have a wide variety of opportunities if you're very interested with whatever area of emphasis you're interested in going into.
Construction engineering and management. So they plan, direct, coordinate, and construct projects in residential, commercial, and public work areas. So civil engineers can. Excuse me. I just was on two different screens. Anyway, so business people came to us and like companies said, well, we really like the business in Pamplin College of Business, but we want engineers and we want that technical aspect too. Can you put together a major like that? And we were like, of course, companies, why not? Because we're Virginia Tech. So Virginia Tech was like, okay, we'll put together construction engineering and management, puts together classes from the Pamplin College of Business and then also the technical civil environmental engineering and building construction courses that you have to take as an engineer, and ergo the major. What's really funny and I think super cool, and I love them about this major is that they wear their hard hats during graduation. So you can always spot them in the crowd and they wear their yellow hard hats. So I think that's one of the coolest things about this major. And then engineering with construction, and they have job types such as project engineering, field engineering assistant, project manager, field planner, and construction manager.
Aerospace and ocean engineering. Aerospace is definitely one of our more popular majors here at Tech. Basically, aerospace engineering, you'll be learning the aerodynamics, hydrodynamics, propulsion, anything related to flight and aircrafts. And it's not just related to airplanes, it can be helicopters and things like that. You'll be having access to wind tunnels in your labs and learning the different theories and applications of those. Ocean engineering, you'll be basically learning very similar content to aerospace engineering, but more focused on obviously the ocean. One really cool thing about both of these majors is that it is very easy to double major for aerospace and ocean engineering. Basically, students take all the same classes and then very few, or I'd say a handful, are different. So it is very easy if you're interested in double majoring to do it within these two majors. One really cool thing is that we have a wind tunnel here at Tech, and the lower video where the man is kind of holding a rope is basically this weatherman who wanted to test out a hurricane. And basically he came to Tech to test out, I don't remember if it was what category hurricane it is, but Category 4 hurricane, and basically you could see his like skin flapping and everything, and he just wanted to show like the capability of that. So here at Tech we do have facilities for that, and as an aerospace student and an ocean engineering student, you won't have necessarily access to this, but you will be in groups and you'll be learning about the theories and concepts behind these. Some jobs you could go into are design engineering, control engineering, working at different companies, say SpaceX, NASA, things like that. As an ocean engineering, there's often a lot of work and partnership with the Navy. So there's a lot of job placement after college within this major.
Mechanical engineering, and I say this engineering is kind of like the Swiss Army knife of all engineerings, because if you can do a mechanical engineering, you can do it anywhere. So in mechanical engineering, you apply the principles of motion, energy, heat, and force to design, construct, and operate machines or devices. So here are the top areas. I'm not going to go through them all, but you can see them here. Some I'm going to point out are CAD, nuclear dynamics, robotics, power, and fluid dynamics. So here you can see on the bottom picture, here's our Formula One car that you can see. It's a club here at Virginia Tech, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And above is a project that actually a senior mechanical engineering is doing, where they're testing the push of the hose of the water. Firemen, there you go. Firemen. Um, yeah, so they're testing the pressure of the hose of the firemen. So these are the type of hands-on projects that you get as seniors in the different majors that we're doing, like real life stuff, which is kind of cool and kind of unique to Virginia Tech.
Biomedical Engineering. This is the newest undergraduate engineering degree, and it came fall 2008. This is a really cool major because basically you are getting to learn different aspects of biomedical engineering and getting really involved with that side of biological engineering in the medical industry. In this major, there's basically a variety of emphasis areas. You can go into cardiovascular engineering, nanomedicine, tissue engineering, for example. In this major, there's a lot of undergraduate research opportunities. Many of the professors are going to have research or interest in doing research in different areas of biomedical engineering. And this is another really cool major because there's a very humanistic aspect to it, as well as an advanced technology aspect to it. So if you're interested in those two areas, this could be the major for you. As of fall 2019, when the first cohort came out, it had very limited enrollment. So I'm thinking also for this upcoming school year, students who are interested in getting into biomedical engineering will have to have a certain GPA to be qualified for that degree and in that program. Since it is very small, they're trying to keep it since it is very new, they're trying to keep it small so they can kind of assess how the program is doing at a better scale and figure out what needs to be fixed and so on and so forth. But it is a very interesting and very cool major. A lot of students who are in this program are interested in going into medical school, and having a background in biomedical engineering definitely helps with learning that kind of stuff.
Industrial systems engineering. So in industrial systems and engineering, I can think of it the efficient. You are trying to make other engineers more efficient. So you're like trying to make other engineers better. And as an industrial systems and engineer, you analyze, design, and implement and improve integrated work systems. So just like I said, you make other people's work better. Areas of emphasis are human factors and ergonomics, manufacturing systems, management systems, operations research. So this major works a lot with people, and this is if you're a very good people person, if you love interacting with people, but you still want that technical aspect of engineering, I think this is the major for you. A lot of people in industrial systems and engineering go on to work for, we have a lot of co-ops in Disney, so a lot of improving their parks in Disney. I know that we have a co-op on Dean's team right now a student in Dean's team that was co-opted in Disney. So if you have any questions about that, I can get you in contact. Also, so job types are healthcare, transportation, manufacturing, cost analysis, optimization, product design, evaluation, and consulting.
So if you're interested in learning more things about the engineering majors that are offered here at Tech, you can go to the website Explore Engineering at Virginia Tech, and there you'll find more information about each major. They'll have job types and more specific information if that's what you're looking for. There's a lot of opportunities available here at Virginia Tech, and there's a plethora of engineering minors that you can choose from. From computer science, anything to biomedical engineering. Green engineering is a very popular one. I know that I'm doing it and I find it very interesting. Classes I'm taking. There's several study abroad opportunities. There's the one that's already built in chemical engineering, but there's also RSAP, which is the Rising Sophomore Abroad program, where you will go to a set of countries or a certain geographical area with a group. Basically, you'll be learning about the engineering practices of that region and how they interact and tackle engineering problems. And it is a sort of study abroad opportunity as well. You'll only be there for a couple of weeks, but you'd get to tour factories, tour universities, and kind of really understand and engage in that culture. People go to New Zealand, Australia. A lot of people have gone to Latin America, to England, and a lot of cool places. There's also undergraduate research. Many professors offer research opportunities. I'm in several research opportunities, working anything from like biodegradable toothbrushes to ice. So really cool stuff. Professors will want you to come and work for them. You can get paid to do research or you can get credit for it. And there's also several professional societies here that the within engineering, there's sororities and fraternities, as well as just organizations themselves. Also, when you start as an engineering student, there will be an O-show where you can kind of explore more of these opportunities, whether they're clubs, organizations, to majors, and things like that.
Here you can see Virginia Tech students are all over the country. So we do co-ops all over the country, which are cooperative education programs, which is not exactly an internship. So a co-op or the cooperative education program is a 6-month to a year internship, most likely where you get paid. The internship could be paid or unpaid. And it could be only over a summer. So that's mostly where you say when you classify as internship, it's mostly over the summer, where it's a cooperative education program or co-op experience, it's over the school year, or it can be over the summer, but it's mostly a 6-month to a year purpose. So this is where the students here at Virginia Tech have their internship. So we have Altria, Bank of America, Cargill, Rolls-Royce, Dow, 3M, IBM, Rio Tinto, Tesla, all these countries. I personally co-opted, so I did a co-op. I took a year off. So like I said before, I'm a 5-year student. And to be a 5-year student, I took a year off from school to go co-op at Advanced Six, where I worked as a production engineer in a chemical plant. So if you guys have any questions about co-oping or what is it like taking a year off from school, please drop them in the Q&A box.
Here at Tech, there's a lot of opportunities for support outside of the classroom, whether it comes from teachers and also from different organizations here at Tech. So there is STEP, which is the Student Transition Engineering Program. Basically, it's an effort to bridge the life between life as a high school student and then that transition to a college student and an engineering student. So basically, as a STEP student, you'll be here at Virginia Tech at the campus over the summer for 5 weeks, and you'll be learning calculus, chemistry, and foundations of engineering. You'll be taking those courses. These courses are typically first-year courses. Basically, it'll help you figure out where you are and where you need to focus and kind of understand where you will be once the school year starts. It'll help you with developing those study habits and time management skills earlier on, which is very crucial no matter who you are. And for some of these cases, you'll be able to meet professors who will be teaching those first-year courses in the fall, and it could help with AP transfers as well. There's also Hypatia and Galileo, or Galopecia. This is a living learning community in Lee Hall, and it's basically a program where freshmen, women and men engineers basically live together, and they do a lot of activities. And the main thing about this community is that it really helps connect with your peers, because basically you have students down the hall who are in the same classes as you, so you make friends and then you build a support network within engineering itself. And it's a really cool program. If you're interested, you definitely need to apply early, but it's a really cool space. There's also a maker space, so like power tools and Dremels and things like that, if that's kind of your thing. There's also peer mentoring, which is the oldest program here at Tech. As a freshman, basically it's a 10-week commitment. You don't have to stay or anything, but it's open to all incoming freshmen at no cost, and you'll be paired with a peer mentor, and basically they'll be helping you and guiding you through the first part of your freshman year. That also happens in Galopecia. I forgot to mention that. They'll help you prepare for your resume, prepare you for the career fairs that happen here at Tech, and educate you with those time management skills and study habits. And also they offer a lot of campus resources such as tutoring and things like that. And there's also career fairs. So there's Engineering Expo, which is held typically in September, I think, where around 300 companies will come to specifically hire Hokies. And it is a really cool opportunity. A lot of people get their internships from here, and it's great for networking and really good for getting your name out there and practicing those interviewing skills and practicing those talking skills as well. Other career fairs to know are Hokies for Hire, and Cameo in the spring, which is a little bit smaller than Engineering Expo, which happens in the fall, but more than 100 companies will come to this and still hire Hokies.
Here at Virginia Tech, there's lots of hands-on experience. So if you want that hands-on experience and you feel like you're not getting it in your major, then join a design team. We have so many design teams here at Virginia Tech, hands-on, minds on, we like to say. So here are pictures of the design teams and a list of design teams. I'm not going to go through them, but you can see them here. And one I do want to point out is Concrete Canoe. It's a civil engineering design team. And what you do is you build a canoe out of concrete and it floats on I don't know the technicalities of it. But if you want to know more about it, please let me know and I will get you in contact with someone who loves concrete more than anything in the world. And so what you do is you build a canoe out of concrete and then you make it float on a river and then they paddle and they race. And one of the best things about Virginia Tech is that actually companies come and fund us, which is something like huge. Companies come and fund us. So companies come and fund Formula, SAE, Hyperloop, Astrobotics, Baja. They come and they fund us. So by the time you graduate, let's say you enter this as a freshman. So by the time you graduate, you have such a great rapport with these company representatives that they know you, they know your work ethic, and they know how hard of a worker you are, which makes you that much closer to possibly getting a job in that company, if you want it, at the end of your 4 or 5 years here at Virginia Tech. So that's something really cool and really unique about the design teams here at Virginia Tech.
We are one of a pretty good ranked school in terms of our engineering program, ranked 13 for the undergraduate program. For graduate program, it's ranked 31, and this will be a little bit different for the specific engineering schools. So say something like civil engineering is a very high ranked graduate school compared to others. We're ranked number 7 for producers of engineers with bachelor degrees, ranked number 8 for production of women engineers in the field. If that's something that's really important to you, we take pride in that. And we're a pretty good ranked school, and the academics that we have here demonstrate that.
Freshmen who continued in their second year of engineering lasted about 5 years, which averaged about 90%. After graduation for the class of 2019, 74% were employed and 13% planned to attend graduate school or have accepted admission to a graduate school. And then for those who did not go to graduate school and are employed, the median starting salary for this is $70,000 for the class of 2019.
So I'm sure all of you guys are thinking about or at least maybe at the back of your head, thinking about how to pay for college. Thankfully, Virginia Tech does offer a lot of scholarships, not for just freshmen, but also upperclassmen. For freshmen, there are a couple of them that are offered: the Davenport Leadership Scholarship, the Pratt Engineering Scholarship, which is a 1-year scholarship, financial aid, and there's also for BCCS transfer students, there'll be a PATA scholarship, and it doesn't just stop there in your freshman year. As an upperclassman, you also have access to College of Engineering funds, and also departmental scholarships. So you can get money from the College of Engineering in general, and you can also get department-specific scholarships. And one really cool thing is that it's all one application, which makes it really easy to apply and means that you should apply no matter what.
I will say that I got a bunch of scholarships my freshman year, so definitely apply to those scholarships because they are totally worth it. And Yeah, so computer guidelines and requirements. I will say this, please don't get your computer until the summer before entering college because computer specifications can change. And a laptop 2-in-1 tablet is recommended, but again, please check the website for specifications. I have a 2-in-1 tablet and I think it's awesome because I can write on it and then I can also type my notes. But I also know other people who don't have a 2-in-1 tablet and they do just fine. Like they have Macs or other types of computers that I don't know about, and they do just fine. But I will go through the benefits of a 2-in-1 tablet, which is digital ink for taking notes, drawing diagrams, writing equations, and submitting and grading work just by like PDFs.
Why did I come to the College of Engineering at Virginia Tech? So I have a little bit of a different story. I am an out-of-state student from California, the San Francisco Bay Area, and the reason I came to Tech was because I wanted to kind of go as far away as possible, experience something new across the coast. So that's one of the reasons. But I also really liked Virginia Tech because of the opportunities they had here. I am in material science and I really was interested in working at the foundry and things like that. I also liked the opportunity of Galopecia and the support they were giving for women engineers and people who were really interested in those things. So I really liked the school and I came here. I didn't even get to tour, I just knew it. I'm here.
Lovely. I love that. So why did I come to the College of Engineering at Virginia Tech? There was a lot of reasons. First, I didn't really so I'm an out-of-state student as well, but I'm from New Jersey. I'm not from like all the way across the sea. But I actually didn't know Virginia Tech kind of existed until I think a week before the deadline. Like it was a close call, and I only knew because my friend slipped me like a pamphlet, and they were like, "This school really matches your personality." So I actually visited the school after I applied and after I got accepted, and I knew this school was right for me because of the Hypatia and Galileo program here, because they really like embody a community and foster like a really great community and a really great like friendships. I made so many friends there that are long lasting that I still have to this day, and they're kind of like my rock and my foundation, especially when I'm going through like really tough classes. My mentors are still my mentors to this day, especially when I was a freshman. They graduated now, but I'm still in close contact with them because like they forever will be my mentors. I love them. They're like my parents. But they're like family, and I think that without Hypatia, I wouldn't be the student that I am today, the professional, put together student that I am today. So I thank all that to Hypatia. So that's why I came to the Virginia Tech College of Engineering.
I'd like to add, I also found all my friends through Galopecia and living in Lee Hall. My friends were the ones who lived right across from me, next to me, and diagonally from me. We were like a little quad, and that was my friend group. Another thing I really love about Virginia Tech is that everyone, it doesn't matter that you're just in engineering, but we all feel like a family. When everything pre-COVID, it felt like well, whenever you walked around campus, it was it felt very communal. Like it was there was a lot of camaraderie. You wouldn't just see that at like football games or anything, but everyone is so nice. Everyone is so welcoming. It is a really wonderful like campus community that we have.
Yeah, like when I went to Virginia Tech, like I couldn't believe how nice people were. Like that's not a joke. Like I'm from New Jersey, New York area, so like just like imagine. And like I couldn't imagine like people like if I tripped, people are like, "Are you okay?" Like they're like really nice, and it's like, this people say you can make this school as big or as small as you want to be. And I don't know. I love the College of Engineering. I just love Virginia Tech. So let's get to the questions.
Oh, another reason I came here is because it kind of looked like Hogwarts when I just like looked at it a little bit. Another reason why I liked it. So we can answer the question.
I could go on forever, honestly, about how much I love this school,
yes.
Which is terrible.
So we can go ahead and answer the questions that you guys have had and posted in the chat. Taking a look at these, a lot of them we can direct you to admissions for these like answers. So yeah.
Let me see. I'll take this one. Is it difficult to double major with a major outside your engineering school? More specifically, would it be possible to double major with chemical or environmental engineering and packaging science? So I'm going to press answer live. Okay, so I will say from a chemical engineering, because I'm a chemical engineer, so as a chemical engineer, it will be very hard to double major as a chemical engineer unless you come in with credits. I know someone who is an ISE major who came in with credits, a lot of credits, and he is double majoring in ISE and Spanish. So it is possible to double major in an engineering and in a other and in another major outside the College of Engineering. I will say I think it's more possible, maybe more possible with environmental than with chemical, because chemical is one of the I think if not the most, if not the most, one of the top most credits you can take as an engineer. It's pretty high up there with like 100 and something credits, 130 something credits we have to take, and that's excluding a minor if you have one. So and then plus our credits is so much that you have to take a class over the summer, which is ULab, which not any other engineering major has to do unless they want to. So I would say maybe not for chemical engineering, possibly for environmental, and especially, and if you have like credits coming in, that's definitely possible.
There's a similar question to that asking, do most people take a minor with their selected major? Can you dual major? Actually, a lot of people do minor with their major. It's not just in engineering. A lot of people take things like music or something like drama. There's a lot of people, you have no idea, who take minors outside. I'm also one of those people. I'm doing a minor in creative writing because I like it. I have like time to do it. But yes, it does have to do a lot with how many credits you come in, because it'll show you how much like space you have for additional classes, because if you don't come in with as many credits, you will have to take a lot of those first year courses, and then kind of piles up a little bit as you get later on.
I got a question.
Okay.
And this is kind of pertaining towards me. What were your reasons for adding a minor in computer science? So this kind of goes back to my co-op. So when I was a co-op at Advanced Six which is a nylon 6 plastics company, I knew nothing about, like, I was computer, like I couldn't touch it without blowing it up. I can't, like, computers were not my thing, which is funny because I'm a computer science minor now. And so one of my projects I was redesigning the computer. One of my projects my boss gave me during my second semester there, so I was on my second term of co-op, was to redesign the computer system and work with the IT department. So I was working outside my major, and I was working with the IT department to redesign the computer system so that there was a sequential flow of information between bases of management. And I didn't really know how to do that, and I needed background knowledge in the system. So I had to teach myself from firsthand, from Google actually, how to do everything by hand, and Google's a really great help. But I wasn't really satisfied in that, and I spoke to my manager about it. And because he was super nice, and I spoke to him about it, and he said, well, Swinda, when you get back to college, one of the things that you should do is you should learn a language, or either can I get some computer science knowledge, because that's going to be very helpful to you in the future. So I was like, okay, and I took it to heart, and I have time because I came in with a lot of credits. So I took up a minor. And I haven't looked back since. It's been so useful. It's opened so many doors for me, not just kind of academically, but professionally as well. In different companies, opened so many doors for me. So that's kind of what my reasons were for adding a minor in computer science.
That's great. There's a question here asking, are there many athletes in College of Engineering? I don't necessarily know the numbers, but I know it is doable to be an athlete and be an engineer. There's nothing that inherently stops you from being an athlete and engineer. You should totally do it if you're interested in that. And there's another question asking about, are we close to the mountains? We are definitely close to the mountains, and there's a lot of hiking areas and hiking trails nearby. There are nice trails to run and bike. There's the Huckleberry Trail that's pretty much in Blacksburg, and there's a lot of hiking places around here.
Yep, love it. Yeah, I have a question. How did you know? I guess you can answer this too. How did you know you want to study engineering? So funny story. I thought I was going to be a lawyer the first 17 years of my life, and then when I decided to sign up for college on the 18th year-ish of my life, I decided that I'm not a good test taker, like not standardized tests. And I didn't want to take the bar because I knew it's because I thought I would not do well. So my mom is a biology teacher. So I was like, well, I don't really like biology, but I really like chemistry and math is my thing. So chemical engineering. That was it. It's not like a big story. That's it. That's how I know I want to do chemical engineering.
For me, I was interested in robotics for a while, and then I was like, oh, that's too much. I don't like it anymore. And then I went to materials engineering because I've always liked chemistry. But why I specifically chose engineering, I really like it because there's a lot of opportunities with it. So it's a cool major. This can be applied basically everywhere. So
And I got a question. Do you know anybody who's in both core and engineering school? Is it doable? I don't know in the whole engineering college. I know that it is doable because we have majors. Well, especially now with the incoming freshmen, there are way more Corps of Cadets that are in the engineering college that I've seen that are coming in. But what I've seen in my major in my year right now, there is about one chemical engineering that's also in the Corps. And yes, do you know anybody?
I do know a couple of people who are in the Corps and are engineers, and it's completely doable. Yeah.
All right. Answered live. Next track. Oh, you can answer this question too. What are the biggest strengths and weaknesses of the College of Engineering?
Uh,
So I'll just do it.
yeah.
Okay. Biggest strength. All right. So biggest strengths. I would say our biggest strengths are our program. Definitely. I have yet to see I would say our co-op program is our biggest strength by far. Our network of companies is vast and wide. Hokies hire Hokies is the most truest thing I have ever heard, because I have got this summer, I will tell you a personal goal of mine. This summer, I have gone onto LinkedIn, and my goal was to connect with as many company representatives as I can to more network myself, which is something I learned in Hypatia, which is to more network myself. And I have been looking on Hokies everywhere. And Hokies have connecting with me, be like, hey, like, do you need something? Do you need an internship? Like Hokies, I've been connecting with Hokies and they are very receptive to me. And they're like, I would talk to Hokies and I've been having online meetings. Hi, can I hear more about your companies? So Hokies hire Hokies. I think that's their biggest strength is our company network and how professors go and say, hey, I can connect you with this company. Do you need something? Because professors really want us to succeed. For our weakness, I'm not really sure, to be honest. I really can't think of anything right now if I was being honest.
We have construction going on a lot.
Okay, yeah, that's our biggest weakness. We have a lot of construction and I can't cut through the cutways that I usually do, and then I have to walk around to my classes and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, that's kind of like the only thing I can think of at the top of my head. We also have great food on campus dining. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Another question.
You want to go for one?
Yeah, I can go to another question. There's someone asking, is there an architectural minor while taking an engineering major? There's definitely minors you can take within the architecture program here, like industrial design or something. And if you have like all the prerequisites, you can take it. You can take the classes within that minor, definitely.
I got one. Oh, do you got one?
No, you can take one.
Okay. What sciences are you required to take your freshman year? So for freshman year, it's different, right? For different engineering. No, it's general engineering. Sorry, I'm thinking chemi, and because I'm chemi. No. So you take Chem 1 and Chem 2 your freshman year. You take Physics 1, your Physics 2 your freshman year. You take you take chem lab, so you have to take lab your freshman year, right? Or am I getting my stuff mixed up again? Because I came in with credits, so mine might be a little bit shifted than others.
You typically do take general chemistry, chem lab,
General chem lab, yeah.
yeah, and then you'll take physics.
That's it, right? That's all our sciences.
You don't have to take biology, that is not a required one, but definitely chemistry and physics.
All right. So let me see.
Oh, I have one I can answer.
Okay.
Are the typical engineering majors throughout our 4-year program, or are they longer? So I'd say typically programs are 4 years. Like if you look up the check sheets and everything, they are 4-year programs. But depending on if you have a other major you're pursuing, you have multiple minors, or if you come in with less credits, you can take more years of school. There's nothing wrong with that. Also, if you do a co-op for a year or a semester, typically that will cause you to be at school for longer. So I guess typically you can say it was 4 years, but you can do it for longer, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Especially if you're a chemical engineer, I will say from my standpoint, they are pretty adamant about you taking a co-op. They're like pretty intense. So I highly suggest taking a co-op. Can you take this one? How many engineering students come from out of state?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the numbers per se, but there's a lot of students who do come out from out of state, not necessarily from like the West Coast, like me from California, but just from the East Coast, like students who come from New Jersey or New York or any of the northern states or even from the southern states. So there's quite a bit of students who do come from out of state, specifically within like this side of the country. So definitely, yeah. Don't know the numbers on that. You would have to check like the Virginia Tech website. Or if you
I'll take this one. Do the companies you co-op with hire you after graduation? How exactly do co-op work from being hired / accepted to finishing your contract? So you get hired. You first of all you go to career fair or apply online or apply wherever you saw the ad for your career thing. Sorry, my brain. And then you submit your resume, and if you are selected, they contact you for either a phone in person or a Zoom interview nowadays. And Virginia Tech is really awesome in that they do they do in-person interviews, or they did at the career services. So, and they do actually mock interviews as well. So if you want to prepare for an interview, they do mock interviews. So you can go in and like reserve, like I would like to do a mock interview. And then they're like, okay, let's schedule in for Thursday. And then you come in like a suit and tie or a dress or wherever, whatever. I would probably go in a suit and tie. And then like you kind of go in and they sit you down, ask you interview and questions, and they evaluate you and tell you how you did in your interview, like right then and there after your interview, which is really cool. And then, so exactly how does co-op work? So and then after your interview, if they like you, you are either hired or you go to a secondary process and then you're interviewed again. I had to interview 3 times. So I had like 3 stages of my interview. And then afterwards, if you're hired, that's accepted, you have to take a class. So you have to go to orientation. So you have to go to co-op orientation. It's like a 1-day, 2-hour class on what it means to be a co-op. And then after that 1-day, 2-hour class, you can go on to co-op. So then at co-op, you can get your co-op that you went on co-op on your resume, on your transcript. Like I have my co-op on my transcript that it's kind of like a class that you take at Virginia Tech. You have to pay $75 to take that class, but it's a flat fee. So when you go on co-op, you don't pay tuition, which is nice, and you just kind of work. And then you go on co-op for however much time that you go on, whether it's 6 months or a year. And then after you finish your co-op at Virginia Tech, your co-op, wherever that you may be, you just kind of contact your advisor and be like, I'm done with co-op. When's the next ad drop? Or you have to like kind of stay up to date with that. And then you add classes and you just go back to Virginia Tech like nothing ever happened. And you just pick up where you left off.
Another really cool thing about co-op is that once you come back from co-op, you have like all the time management skills, like all the study skills already there. All my friends who've done a co-op have felt very prepared coming back to campus, and they feel like I know how to not get distracted from anything. I know what to do. Sometimes it does.
It helps. I feel very relaxed.
Yeah.
After going on co-op for a year and coming back to school, I was ready. I felt very relaxed. I was super excited to go back to school. Highly suggest co-op if anybody co-ops. And then looking at the rest of the questions.
I think most of these are for admission.
If we have not, this was answered live. We have not answered your question yet, it is because that the question that you are asking is for admissions and that we cannot answer that question. So if you are asking a question, please know that we're not just ignoring you. We see your question and we just don't know about the question, and please call admissions for that question. I can post the admissions number. I can post the admissions number. Do you have to be an upperclassman to co-op? No. No, you do not. So when you, sorry, I just saw that question. I got super excited. So I'm gonna post the admissions number though. So, but no, you do not need to be an upperclassman to co-op. I will say it is very rare. I will say that you have to have probably like a very higher up resume to be hired as a co-op for a general engineering major, because not many companies want to make sure that you're solidified in your major before they hire you. But it does happen. I've seen, out of the whole engineering class, I will say that I've seen maybe 3 freshmen I was in Hypatia and Galileo, so I will say from the Hypatia and Galileo community, I would say I saw about 3 to 5 freshmen got co-ops or internships as a freshman. But then as you get into more upperclassmen, it's more likely, the likelihood that you're going to get a co-op is higher. So I got my co-op as a sophomore, my first semester sophomore year, and I took a year off and then I came back. But most co-ops happen in your junior year. So I will say that. And I posted the admissions number.
Okay. Are there any other questions that you guys have specifically relating to like the College of Engineering or experience here at Tech? Because those we can definitely answer.
Yeah. Again, can you co-op over the summer? So yes, you can co-op over the summer. So it's kind of like the same thing, except like not really. So when you co-op over the summer, you start in May, or a little bit before. Usually when you co-op over the summer, you start right after, or a little bit right after your classes end, like you go right to co-op. There's no kind of like no break in between, but yes, you can co-op over the summer and it lasts the whole summer. So it's like a 4-month co-op, like May, June, July, and then basically all of August until you go back to school. So it's a whole 4-month co-op experience.
How is Blacksburg? Yes, we can definitely answer that question. It's a great small college town. There's a lot of things to do if you're very outdoorsy or like more outdoors activities. Hiking, camping, things like that. There's a lot of stuff like that. We have Roanoke, which is about an hour away if you want to go to a big city. We have a lot of food spots around town. The area is really nice. It's small, it's quaint, but it's really lively because it's a college town.
I love it. Yeah. I live in the city, so I love being in the small area.
It's very different from being in the city. I'm also from like a very populated area, but it's nice. It's really pretty around here. Sunsets are gorgeous.
Yes, especially at the pylons.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do you guys have any other questions for us?
So Thank you guys for coming. I'm going to post my name one more time. So my name, and I am a chemical engineering major and a computer science in the chat. So if you want to contact me, please go ahead and contact me if I haven't answered your question, and if I haven't answered your question, or if it's a non-admissions question, please contact me. There you go. It's right under admissions.
You guys can also contact me if you have any questions relating to material science and engineering, or anything as well, undergraduate research, anything like that. And I'll also put my email in.
Oh, I just saw a question. If you're not accepted into the engineering school as a freshman, can you reapply later? Yes. People have done it. So it's possible. Is robotics considered computer science? No, that's mechanical engineering.
But you can definitely go into robotics if you are a computer scientist.
Yeah, if you're in computer science major and you want to go into robotics in the future of your career, then yes, you can go into, but not specifically as a research. Can you go into computer science? I'm actually not sure.
I think you definitely can, because they need someone to code. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, so yes. Thank you guys for coming.
Hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the future here at Tech. Bye, everyone.